Right friends, welcome back to questions and answers discussion. The first one is, quite often we hear about stunting and wasting. Stunting and wasting assumed significance because still around 38% of the children are stunted up to below 5 years if you take as per National Family Health Survey. 38% are stunted, wasted are 21%, anemic 58%. So, under these circumstances, you should have clear differentiation between what is the stunting, what is the wasting. Stunting occurs due to chronic undernutrition or malnutrition for longer periods of time, whereas wasting takes place because of undernutrition of short duration may be. So, I have given here various statements. Please have clear difference between stunting and wasting in your mind. Stunting is defined as the situation when children are not able to reach the desired height in comparison to age. Height, they are not able to reach proper height because of the reason undernutrition, chronic undernutrition during the childhood. Most important is up to 5 years, even before birth also. As the woman is pregnant, at that time also, if sufficient nutrients are not available, and subsequently because of chronic undernutrition for longer periods of time, stunting takes place, and stunting is irreversible process most of the times. Wasting is low weight for height. Wasting is low weight for height, and this may be due to undernutrition for shorter durations, right. So, low weight for height is wasting, and this may be due to undernutrition for shorter durations, but stunting is the process when chronic undernutrition for lengthy periods, or you can say 2 years, 3 years, then irreparable damage will be done to the children. Here stunting impairs the development of physical and intellectual capabilities and sometimes irreversible in nature. So, please have clear difference between stunting and wasting. Look at the, before going ahead, wasted, stunted, underweight, anemic. Anemic is also very important from examination perspective. Lack of sufficient iron, it impairs the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. Oxygen carrying capacity of the blood is impaired because of improper iron. Hemoglobin content will be reduced. Because of reduced hemoglobin content, then the oxygen carrying capacity will be reduced, because of which students, or you can say children, may not be able to grasp the things in the right perspective, right. Look at the next one. G20 is quite often in the news. G20, it has got 19 countries plus European Union, please understand. So, European Union plus 19 countries, G20, and its main purpose is to promote international financial stability. Very important, international financial stability, the main purpose of G20, and it has got no permanent secretariat. The country which is hosting the summit, that will look at all the required aspects. It has got no permanent secretariat, and annual heads of government meeting will be held at the heads level, and in between Sherpa level meetings will be held. Sherpa means he represents the head of state at several meetings, and finally head of level meeting will be attended by the head of the government or prime minister in this case in our country. So, here annual meetings are held at the summit level. Sherpa level meetings are held a number of times. So, if I am not wrong, Sherpa from Indian perspective is Arvind Panagadia, right. Sherpa means he represents on behalf of the prime minister in the normal meetings, and the annual meeting is attended by the prime minister. So, these two are wrong. So, 1 and 2 correct. East Asia Summit deliberations take place every year. All of you are familiar with East Asia Summit. Every year the Prime Minister attends East Asia Summit. Here the member countries are from East Asia as well as South Asia, and also include Asian countries. It is probably wrong. Here the member countries I have given here. East Asia Summit member countries, please understand, these are ASEAN countries plus USA, Russia. Please understand, it is very easy to understand. ASEAN countries plus USA, Russia, that means two superpowers in good olden days. So, two superpowers of second half of 20th century, USA and Russia. In those days, of course, USSR, forget about that. So, USA and Russia, China and India, the present rivals in the Asian continent, Australia, New Zealand, Oceania countries you can say, Japan and South Korea, developed countries of Asia. So, these 8 countries along with ASEAN countries form East Asia Summit. And here, what is the purpose of East Asia Summit? East Asia Summit purpose is to have wider engagement with Asia Pacific region to promote regional peace, security and prosperity. So, please understand for what purpose this East Asia Summit is being held, right. North Korea is quite often in the news, and look at the following sentences. In geography, one question is expected from North Korea. When you are looking at North Korea, please do not forget demilitarized zone between North Korea and South Korea, and 1953 armistice was signed, but not a peace deal, right. So, in this context, it has got land boundary with China, South Korea and Russia. It has got small land boundary with Russia. So, it has got land boundary not only with China, South Korea, but also with Russia. It is an example of totalitarian state, absolutely correct. State controls everything, how to live, how to go ahead. The lives of the people are totally controlled by the state, that is a totalitarian state. So, North Korea can be stated as an example of totalitarian state. This is a very important aspect, and first one is also wrong. This North Korea is part of East Asia, right. So, Asia, all of you must be familiar with South Asia, West Asia, then Southeast Asia, East Asia. So, the country North Korea, South Korea, Japan, China, all these are part of East Asia, please do not forget. So, it is the country in Southeast Asia is wrong. So, 3 only correct, right. Here I have given here with regard to various details of this North Korea. Please go through these details, because sometimes in examination a question is expected on North Korea. Then please look into this. This is the demilitarized zone, and please do not forget about this yellow sea. Here it is the Sea of Japan, and this is East China Sea, and most disputes are in South China Sea with Asian neighbors. Please do not forget with China. Then look at the following sentences with regard to the recently available national health accounts. National health accounts were released during the year, and please look into this. Government's annual spending on health is just 1.15% of GDP, absolutely correct. And as per the National Health Policy 2017, government wants to increase it to 2.5%. At present it is 1.15% as per the national health accounts. Then out of the government spending, center has got more share, absolutely wrong. Out of this 1.15%, states 0.75%, center 0.40%, please do not forget. So, this is wrong. In our country, out of pocket expenditure is almost 2/3 of total health expenditure, absolutely correct. It is somewhere around 65-66%. In our country, out of pocket expenditure is almost 2/3 of total health expenditure. So, here 1 and 3 are correct, second one is wrong, please correct. State's share is 0.75% of GDP, center's share is 0.4% of GDP. So, total is 1.15% of GDP, and please do not forget, as per national health policy, 2.5% is to be attained by 2025, right. Then government plans the revival of fertilizer plants during 2016-17 decision was taken with regard to the revival of fertilizer plants, and which of the following is incorrectly matched? Please do not forget, Gorakhpur is in Uttar Pradesh, Barauni is in Bihar, Sindri is in Jharkhand, but Ramagundam is in Telangana. So, this is the wrong option. Then please look into this map, Barauni, Sindri, Gorakhpur, these fertilizer plants are going to be revived, and gas grid is also going to cover this eastern part of the country. And we discussed about Urja Ganga. Please do not forget about that Urja Ganga, that is very important program. Then the next one is, in view of asylum sought by Baloch leader during 2016-17, Balochistan is into the news. A question is expected on Balochistan. I told you several times, Balochistan is the province of Pakistan. Pakistan has got 4 provinces. Now it is planning to make Gilgit-Baltistan as the 5th province, and Balochistan has got international boundary with Afghanistan and Iran. That is very important, and please look into this. Home Ministry is the nodal authority when we look at asylum seekers. Absolutely correct. Home Ministry is the nodal authority in our country. India signed 1951 United Nations Refugee Convention and 67 Protocol. Absolutely wrong. India has not signed 1951 UN Refugee Convention and on the status of refugees and 67 Protocol. India not signatory to this. Third one is, India has got no comprehensive asylum policy after independence. So, one only correct. So, this type of question is expected because of the reason this asylum is into the news during a major part of the year. Then, if we look at India's pledge to reduce carbon emissions, only I have given this question to reiterate about our pledges or nationally determined contributions or NDCs. Initially, they were intended nationally determined contributions. Now, they became nationally determined contributions because Paris Pact came into force. Now, the first one, please go through this. I have given all 3 correct, and from examination perspective, this is evergreen question. Last year also we had one question, but this is significant even for this year also. So, please understand these 3. So, Kigali Pact, Paris Pact, Marrakesh Treaty of Visually Impaired Persons, then similar type of questions, at least 1 or 2 questions on these is expected. Then look at the following sentences when you look at Kerala. First one is, cashew plantation issue with regard to spraying of endosulfan on cashew plantations. Endosulfan was sprayed, that is in Kasaragod district of North Kerala, and this is also into the news during the year. So, this issue pertaining to Kerala, several people got disabilities because of this endosulfan spraying. Then Kuttanad irrigation below sea level, I have just now explained in the revision part. So, this is also pertaining to Kerala, but mercury pollution due to thermometer factory that occurred in Tamil Nadu, right. So, this is also into the news. This was some of these issues are old issues, but still I have taken them at least to brush up your knowledge. This mercury pollution due to thermometer factory, this is pertaining to Tamil Nadu, it pertains to Kodaikanal if I am not wrong. So, 1 and 2 correct. Third issue pertaining to Tamil Nadu, then project Sakam is quite in the news. So, you should have clear distinction between Swayam, project Sakam. What is project Sakam? This is the project with more than rupees 2000 crore budget. For what purpose? This project Sakam is the program to integrate IT systems of Central Board of Excise and Customs so as to facilitate switching over to GST. So, this project Sakam is the program to integrate IT systems of Central Board of Excise and Customs so as to facilitate easy switch over to GST, because all these indirect taxes are getting eliminated. So, switch over to GST is to be done, and to ensure easy switch over to GST, this project Sakam is more than rupees 2000 crore project, right. Look into the next one. Look at the following: Lucky Grahak Yojana, Digi Dhan Vyapar Yojana, Bhim Aadhar. Which of the above are meant for merchants? This Lucky Grahak Yojana is for customers, not for merchants. Customers like you and me. Then this Digi Dhan Vyapar Yojana is for merchants to facilitate digital transactions. Some awards are given. Then Bhim Aadhar is meant for the payments to the merchants. So you can say 2 and 3 pertains to merchants. Then the next one, the everlasting flame is to showcase the civilization and culture of Parsi Zoroastrians, and there is one central government program. I could not recollect the name. The name probably runs like this, some Dharohar or something. So please recollect that name of the program, and as per the program, to showcase the culture of minorities, this everlasting flame that was conducted to showcase the civilization and culture of Parsi Zoroastrians. So please don't forget about the everlasting flame. Next one is CD4 count is quite often in the news. Now government took a decision, irrespective of CD4 count in the body, for the persons infected by HIV virus, irrespective of CD4 count. Previously, if CD4 count goes such and such limit, then only this is to be ensured, that is ART, antiretroviral therapy. So here ART now is to be ensured irrespective of CD4 count for the patients affected by AIDS. So that is the recent decision taken. So CD4 count is associated with AIDS. So this is one important aspect. Here antiretroviral therapy is ART. It consists of combination of antiretroviral drugs to maximally suppress the HIV virus and stop the progression of HIV disease. Who recommends ART for all the people with HIV irrespective of CD4 count, and now government took the decision to use this ART irrespective of CD4 count. What is CD4? CD4 is the type of white blood cells. CD4 are type of white blood cells. They protect our body from infections. They should not go below certain count. For HIV patients, they go down. That is why they are quite often affected by various infections. Right friends, let us move ahead. Delamanid, bedaquiline. These two are the drugs associated with multi-drug resistant TB and extensively drug resistant TB. And please don't forget, this Delamanid is yet to be approved in our country, and bedaquiline is available only at 6 centers in our country. So because of these two things, controlling multi-drug resistant TB and extensively drug resistant TB is becoming difficult. Please go through this. This Delamanid, this is yet to be registered in our country, and bedaquiline is available only at 6 centers. So people living with MDR or XDR TB are not receiving adequate treatment because of this reason. Then India is going for pressurized heavy water reactors, and I produced one capsule about nuclear energy last week. Please go through it. Those who heard that, probably this may look easy. India is going for pressurized heavy water reactors, and look at the following sentences. Pressurized heavy water. What is heavy water? Heavy water is D2O, then normal water is H2O. Normal water is called light water. This heavy water is D2O. D is nothing but deuterium, that is nothing but isotope of hydrogen which contains one neutron, right. So isotope of hydrogen is this deuterium, right. Heavy water contains D2O, where deuterium is the isotope of hydrogen. Then it absorbs lesser number of neutrons compared to light water. So this heavy water is used as moderator as well as coolant, right, in nuclear power reactors which uses normal uranium or natural uranium. So, please go through the sentences. If you want more, please view that capsule at least first 5 minutes to understand the difference. Heavy water contains T2O, where the deuterium is the isotope of hydrogen. Then it absorbs lesser number of neutrons in comparison to light water. Then when heavy water is used, natural uranium is used. Then natural uranium and enriched uranium differs in the context that in the enriched uranium U-235 content will be higher. Please do not forget U-235, U-238 both are isotopes of uranium, and in enriched uranium U-235 content will be higher. 1, 2, 3 correct. Then look at the next one. India was declared as free, and look at the following sentences. As free as well as maternal and neonatal tetanus free. These two are very important from examination perspective. India was declared as free. Please look into this picture. This is example of as. It is a bacteriological infection which affects the skin primarily, right? Bacteriological infection and which affects the skin. Please look into this. India was the first country in the world to eliminate as under the 2012 WHO neglected tropical diseases roadmap. Absolutely correct. As is a chronic bacterial infectious disease. This is also correct. It is bacterial disease and it affects the skin, not lungs. So, third one is wrong. So, 1 and 2 correct. If you look at the next one, India is now free of maternal and neonatal tetanus as declared by who? India is now free of maternal and neonatal tetanus. Which of the following statements is correct in this context? When a country is declared as maternal and neonatal tetanus free, a country is declared as maternal and neonatal tetanus free when the annual rate of maternal and neonatal tetanus is less than 1 per 1000 live births. Per 1000 live births, if annual rate of maternal and neonatal tetanus recorded is less than 1 case per 1000 live births, then the country is declared as maternal and neonatal tetanus free, not a complete elimination. If it reduces to less than 1 per 1000 live births, then it is declared as free. So, C is the right answer. Quite often we hear about a deep state. What is the meaning of deep state? Quite often we hear about deep state. In the context of USA also, now we are getting various articles as far as deep state is concerned. What is a deep state? A body of people, typically influential members of government or maybe military, a body of people, that means government will be there, but parallelly a body of people will be there. They are influential people, maybe for example Chief Justice, maybe heads of the military, and such type of high influential people who are believed to be involved in the secret manipulation or control of government policy. So, when influential individuals are secretly manipulating or controlling the government policy, then it is known as a deep state, right. Look at the next one. Quite often we hear about a trickle down effect. This is quite often we hear in the newspapers trickle down effect. What is the meaning of trickle down effect? The meaning is when growth takes place, maybe 8%, 10%, when growth takes place, all the members of society will benefit. That will trickle down to the bottom. So, that is the meaning of trickle down effect, right. Please understand the next one. Quite often we hear about perpetual bonds. Look at the following sentences. Perpetual bonds will not have any maturity date. Here they pay steady stream of interest. They will have high interest or coupon rate in comparison to normal bonds, maybe 2 to 3% higher. So, perpetual bonds will not have any maturity date. They pay steady stream of interest. then they will have high interest or coupon rate in comparison to normal bonds. All three are correct. Perpetual bonds are into the news because now banks are allowed to issue perpetual bonds, and they are risky investments, and only high net worth individuals only invest in perpetual bonds. They are risky investments, they pay higher interest, but there are many risks involved in that. Right friends, do have some idea about perpetual bonds, right. So, this is all about today's Q&A. Please do join tomorrow at 11 o'clock for revision, 11:30 for Q&A. Have a nice day. Thank you.